As I grew up on a farm in, excuse me, northern New York, my father's mother would spend the winter with us, and she made quilts. Generally, they were out of leftovers from clothes my mother had made for us girls, but Nanny had all kinds of quilts. It got to the point that I could tell whether she made it herself or whether her sister from Canada came to stay with them, because Nanny tied them and her sister quilted by hand. Mm-hmm. My next introduction to quilts was when I met my husband's family for the first time. His mother and her aunts and all quilted together, like an old-fashioned quilting bee. Okay. And Mom used to talk about being in under the quilting frame, threading needles, picking up threads, that kind of thing. And she had a great story. She had an Aunt Indy. And as Mom told the story, Aunt Indy, she's a widow woman, you know. And Aunt Indy quilted by hand quilts for hire for $5 a quilt. And then I became pregnant and thought I had to make a quilt for my expected baby. Well, the expected baby turned into 2 babies. The quilt grew a little bigger. When the girls were in twin beds, it was finished, but there's only one of those quilts. And about 30 or 40 years ago, I met Judy, so that was a nice addition to my quilting. For me, it goes both ways. I was shopping with my daughters once, and they came up. I was getting some fabric cut, and they came up on one on each side of me and looked and said to the clerk, "Oh, we just came to see which mother we're shopping with today." Because I'm liable to be having Halloween or reproduction or batiks, Asian, whatever strikes my fancy when I'm there. And other times I'm looking specifically for certain fabric. Maybe I've got the big piece at home and I need some to go with it for this particular pattern. It depends on what I feel like doing at the time. Different fabrics, different techniques. And sometimes at home I want to work on that, and sometimes I want to work on the sewing machine, and it just is whatever the mood strikes. Log cabins have been one of my favorite quilts. The freedom of color choices, there's a lot of opportunities for color in a log cabin. And this morning before I left home I counted and I've made 25 of them, and I'm still quilting. I think that idea, sisterhood, is what I like the best about quilting. To me, that's the best thing about quilting, is the sisterhood of it, whether it's birth sisters or quilting sisters. Quilting is part of our history, and it's still evolving. And it's still alive.